Live, connecting. Hey,
Wow,
did it
people.
happen?
I think so. Hey, besties.
What is
That's
up?
what
Okay,
I don't know if these are people here before or if they're like
yeah, who
they just.
knows? Well, I'm gonna assume this is working. Hi,
I
Marin.
don't. Hi, Luce. Oh, okay. We're talking.
Oh, hey, Ed. What's up? Hey, Auburn. Um, okay, so Marin and I are friends.
Should we
I'm
wait
already
a
fucking.
bit for people to just like populate
Yeah,
or?
yeah, yeah. We can just let
Okay.
people. Hi, Michael.
Do you see like how many people are here? I
No, I
have
have no
nothing on the
idea. I can
screen.
just see it's working. We can see and hear you. Great. There might be a delay in the comments too, but um, so yeah, strong start to this. Marin is my friend who animated the music video, and we were just realizing that we don't know for sure how we met. What is your version of how we met, Marin?
Okay, so my version is I was in eighth grade and you were a freshman. And we met at First Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, okay, this is the part that you might not know. I had a bunch of, or remember, I had a bunch of CDs in my hand that were me trading music with a friend of ours. And
Okay.
you pulled the CDs out of my hand and you were like, oh, good music taste.
Oh my gosh. Just
But
like
the fun, the best, but the, which is very, very 2010 Lucy. But the best thing about this is that it wasn't my music taste. I had pretended to have these CDs because this person, this friend of ours, I had a crush on, and I was just trying to impress said person
uh-huh.
by legally downloading the contents of these CDs and pretending that I had them.
Oh my god, classic shit.
Um,
I love
yeah, and
like
then you gave
someone
me
being
a
like, "Have you
hug.
heard of like insert whatever?" And you're like, "Yeah, I've heard of them. I don't remember any of the songs though." Or like just pretending that you've heard of somebody's music taste.
That was like that
Yeah.
was such a hallmark of
Yeah.
that
I
era.
remember meeting you at First Fridays too, so maybe we're on the same page.
Okay,
You
that
had
was
like a
your story.
bowler hat and suspenders on or something. Not to
Oh
drag you
my,
into live, but
probably, yeah.
do you remember what the CDs were?
Oh, I think it was something like actually it might have been like no, it wasn't LCD Sound System. That would have been a bigger deal. I think it was like something like a little bit obscure, like New Young Pony Club or something. Um, but I don't. I really don't remember. Oh, maybe
Mm-hmm.
like Tokyo Police Club. I
Oh
don't
yeah, a classic.
something like that. Yeah,
2010 core.
maybe. But I remember giving you a hug, and you were just a lot taller than me, which is still true.
That's still
We
true.
probably
How
didn't
tall are you?
grow. I'm 5'1",
5'1".
so I don't know. I don't
I'm
know who
5'10".
grew less.
So it's just that with a
Yeah,
zero.
yeah. I feel like 80% of our photos together from when we were young are like us hugging, and you just see both of our like hair masses, and one is like significantly higher. There's
Yeah.
that one at the zombie walk. I'm trying to
Yeah.
like.
I feel like it would make sense if I could just like pick you up, but I feel like between the two of us, like you're stronger than me, and like you probably pick me up easier.
We could pick each other up. We should do
Yeah,
that
we should try
sometime.
that sometime. Um, so yeah, I don't know if y'all have questions. That was kind of, I mean, like Myrna and I could just simply shoot the shit all day, but if you have any questions about the video, about VBS or the album art, or like you need life advice, uh, you want to give compliments to Marin, you can just do that. Any plans for future work together? Maybe a poster for the video? That's a good
So
idea.
I actually have a very specific answer for this. Lucy, I don't know if you remember, like I texted you one morning and said, like I think I was like still half asleep when I texted you. I was like, I had a dream that I made a tour poster for you and it had lily pads on it.
Ooh,
And I didn't, I wasn't thinking about that at all making the video. And then afterwards I was like, oh shit, like there were so many lily pads in the video.
yeah.
Maybe that tour poster is actually something that can happen.
Yeah, I love it. We can just talk. We'll text about it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lucy is 5'10", yes.
What I'm 5'10". Do I have short energy?
No.
I always wanted to be shorter because I was always taller than my friends and I like stood out. And
I No, I think you have tall energy
okay.
for sure. But
Yeah.
I everyone has tall energy to me. So I don't. Or
Yeah.
it's like everyone has like average energy because I just don't know what tall is.
Yeah.
Hot and heavy is not about us too,
It's not, yeah.
but
But if it was, who would
but I
be
am
hot and
in
who
a
would be
video.
heavy? You'd be hot and I'd be heavy.
Oh.
I just set myself up for that so bad. Anyways, how long did the video take to animate?
So it took about 2 months, a little bit under 2 months. I would not say that that's how long like it generally takes to animate something like that, but since I've been like the art director for this whole thing, there was just so many other things leading up to it that like at the end of it, like that's the time we had left, and so that's what I do. And the way I work is like very much I have this amount of time, so I'm going to do this in this amount of time. I'm not the best at time management and scheduling, so it kind of like forced me into that. But yeah, I started probably like we wrapped up shooting Hot and Heavy in the beginning of March, and then I had a bunch of stuff to do. And then I started like probably end of March and
Yeah, it's kind
finished.
of superhuman. I don't know if any of y'all are animators, but it should not have been possible for Marin to have made it, but she just
It was a
fucking
grind. It
bodied
was
it. When did you start
um,
animating and what program did you use?
So I went to school for animation, kind of. The major that I was in, it's like fine art experimental animation. It's not a program like CalArts or any of those like heavy. Like I feel weird sometimes calling myself an animator just because it's like such a technical craft, and people who are animators like just do that and like like study physics and motion all the time, and like draw frames over and over again. And I'm like a little bit more experimental in my approach, and more than anything, I like making things move. Like I don't animate people a lot, so this was actually pretty like new for me. But yeah, I started animating in college, and I've been, doing art. I went to an arts high school. We went to rival high schools, actually.
I went to the
I was
nerd high
like,
school and she went to
I
the
went to the arts high school, and pretty much everyone like from our city who is involved in like Lucy's album making like went to one of these two high schools. Like Colin, who produced and
Jake who
not
plays
didn't mix.
guitar.
Yeah, and we all went to the same high school. They're old friends of mine. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I actually used Procreate for most of this, and I didn't expect to do that. It's like the iPad program for anyone who doesn't know. And I didn't expect to do that because I normally animate in either Toon Boom or Photoshop, but since I was like doing this in such a crunch time, like I have a back injury that flares up if I sit at a desk for too long. So I like physically could. Yeah, we both have bad backs, but like different. Like Lucy's lower back is worse, my upper back is worse. Anyway, I had to work mobile. I like had to keep changing my position, so I had to work on my iPad. And I Procreate's file sizes are really limiting, so I have so many different files for this, but I actually like the animation tool. Oh my god, there are a lot of questions. I'm
Okay,
like
I'm
not
just
even.
going from in order. I'll be quick.
Yeah,
How was the
yeah.
journey of making this song? Amazing, by the way. Thank you, Punk. Um, I was driving to Nashville, getting ready to record, and drove by a church that was advertising VBS, and like all at once, I remembered my first boyfriend that I met at church camp, like was into snorting nutmeg, and I was like, it was just like this recovered memory of like, oh my god, like kids are so fucked up, like you're just gonna snort nutmeg because it's what you can get your hands on because your parents like you have to hide your desires from your parents and just like treat your body like shit. Yeah, so it started with the nutmeg line, and then it kind of like I just had this wave of recovered details from that. And I finished it in probably about like 20 minutes, and showed it to Colin and Jacob when we got to Nashville and made the song. Any bonus tracks or unreleased tracks that didn't make the album? Yes, there's actually a song. I don't know when or if it'll ever come out, but it was about kissing lessons. It's called Kissing Lessons. I don't know if I should say much more, but is about like prepping for the future men with my girlfriends. And we would just like make out like after school in elementary school, like all day long.
Honestly, is there anyone who didn't do that who is not queer now?
Yeah. I mean, that's like classic queer thing to do as a tiny baby queer. Did you have any reference shots for the video?
Yes. So it's actually a combination of references that I took of Lucy. We couldn't come into contact with each other because of COVID, so she was in town and I drove up and we stayed like 20 feet away from each other, and I had a telephoto lens on my camera, and I was like, we were on our phones really far apart, like directing. Yeah, I was like, do this, and I took some reference shots as much as I could, but obviously like or not obviously, like I'm not a huge storyboarder, so I didn't know exactly everything that was going to happen in the video at this point. So it's kind of a amalgamation of Lucy, me taking the reference myself, and then, you know, like morphing myself into more something resembling Lucy. And then also some like, it's like half rotoscoping, half just taking like the skeleton of the body, and then half like just free animating. My brother's here. Hi, Jesse.
Cute.
I haven't scrolled down. Maybe there are more people I know here, but
yeah,
so
I'm slow scrolling. Rippy says use the name Slayer in your song VBS. Do you listen to Slay ... I'm only getting 2 lines of the questions, so I'm assuming you're saying do you listen to Slayer? And the answer is basically yes, but my boyfriend from church camp loved Slayer so much that he would like write it on his forearm and like had many Slayer shirts, and so I was like, I gotta get into this band so I can relate. So I like memorized Raining Blood. It was like one of the first songs I tried to learn on guitar was Raining Blood, which was dumb. But yeah, Slayer rips. I mean, they're just iconic, good band. Boss energy. Thank you, Michael. I definitely have average energy, tall energy. What's your favorite song off the new record? I don't know, it kind of changes. My favorite moment is the very end of Going, Going, Gone, for reasons I won't say. But Triple Dog Dare is probably the best one. I also, like, to be honest, there's a song called First Time that I like should have been a single. And I don't know why it wasn't. But
I think me too.
Yeah.
I'm so sad it wasn't.
Me too.
There are a lot of songs that I wish. Can I answer my favorite?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So Triple Dog Dare for sure. Also Partner in Crime. Anyone who knows knows. Also VBS. Those are probably my 3.
Cool.
Also First Time. But I'm a little salty at that one for not making it into be a single.
Me too. It's gonna be so much fun to do live. Girl boss moment. Great. Marin, you did amazing work. So talented.
Thank you.
Both of you. Legit video, so impressive.
Dream team.
Any tips for how to survive high school? I don't know. How do you just like say a tip for that?
Oh man. I feel like our high school experience was not super typical. Maybe yours more than mine. I went to high school like 2 hours away, so there wasn't too much to do like extracurricularly.
I would say like anyone that you meet as a potential friend, like it can be intimidating because there's like hierarchies within high school, but like know that every person you see is in progress and so are you, and be willing to like do things that are have a like high risk of embarrassment because there is like
Yeah.
a high possibility of like figuring out what you actually love. Also, like
Yeah.
you need all the flashback photos now to make fun of yourself in like 10 years. So
I think about that a lot, about how like parents, like my parents included, like were always telling me things that I probably didn't want to be doing in the moment that I was doing them, like don't do this, you'll regret it later, and or like don't date this person, whatever. And that's, they're almost always right, but it's not the most important thing. Like you should still do those things
mm-hmm.
because it's important to make like not dangerous decisions, but like dumb high school like do things, but maybe like know in the back of your mind that it's probably something that's just like a high school thing, and
Yeah,
take things lightly.
yeah.
There's a question above that I want to answer just briefly. Like, did I use After Effects? Yes, After Effects is my baby. It's like my favorite program. I composited everything in After Effects. I did most of the secondary motion in After Effects. It's After Effects is an editing program that it's like more targeted towards like putting elements of animation together than something like Premiere. It's not an editing program. It's very much like a post-production like effects program. Any of like the water ripples were in After Effects. Compositing is like one of my favorite things in animation because you finally get to see all these like bones of something come together and look like an actual scene. So yes. Process, I'll just touch on that briefly. Lots of backgrounds, lots of frames. I didn't storyboard. I kind of like worked backwards, like Lucy and I. I'm sure there would be a few questions about this, but we had a bunch of ideas that I kind of just like put together and like worked backwards to see how they kind of gave way to a story on their own.
Did we have a mood board or inspiration?
So we've had a mood board for a lot. We had a lot of different mood boards throughout this whole thing. We have a old Google Drive folder that we would like share things in.
Yeah.
One thing is like directly from Lucy's mood board, which is and something you all might have seen on her stories, which is like Lucy standing over something with a really stretched out shadow. So that was like directly from Lucy's inspiration. We had
Yeah,
a lot of
there's one that's
concepts
like backs of heads, um,
mm-hmm.
wind, and then the color scheme is any color that the sky can make. So, like, pretty much only staying away from green, a lot of pink and blue, and like yellows and things. So,
Yeah, I have a lot of illustrators that I pull from. There's, if anyone wants to look it up, there is one specific reference to something that, like the glass cabin scene. I was super inspired by this scene from Neon Genesis Evangelion, like the hospital scene. There's this like really sterile kind of blue white light, and it's really like beautiful but kind of haunting at the same time, and I thought that was kind of the perfect vibe. I'm not gonna pull it up, but if anyone knows, that would be cool. We should probably go a little faster
I
because there
know
are a lot of
I'm like just
yeah.
uh
I did illustrate
proud of
things
you. Yeah.
first mostly.
Can you do you? It says Lucy, I have one question for you. Is 20 too late to listen to artists like Spring? Is that Springsteen? My like for some reason my comments are getting like cut off. If it's
Okay, I can try and
Springsteen,
see.
no, you can still listen to Springsteen. It might take a little extra effort because like it was just bred into me to love him, and I still didn't like it at the beginning. So it took like many years, and then it was like a full flip to like holy shit, this is really good. I would say like just read some of his lyrics first. Like it's cool to just read Atlantic City or Jungle Land and like see like this is so poetic and cool, and then listen to it. Yeah, I think anybody would like Springsteen.
It did say Springsteen. I can check your can fact check your comments for you.
Can you tell us more about the reaction from the person Thumbs is about? Okay. I'm guessing. I think we're in different parts of the chat, but yeah, I showed that to my friend that it's about before recording it because I wanted to ask permission if she'd be comfortable, and it was really meaningful. I fucking cried. I was like crying through the thing, and then I said the like, you don't owe him shit even if he said you did. And then instead of saying it twice at the end, I was just like, and then I say it another time. Like, I couldn't get through the last line. I was just like, and then I'd just say it twice. But yeah, I love her, and like, it, I think, has made our friendship probably stronger. Again, girl boss moment. Excited to see you live. I cannot wait for tour. Please come to a show. Any more Boy Genius releases? No plans, but we talk all the time. Hi Deep. Your question got cut off, so do you see Deep's question?
Yeah, do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Hi Deep. Such a beautiful song and beautiful video. What inspires you both to continue creating? Do you want to start?
No, you go ahead.
That one? I don't. Okay.
Unless you don't know.
Yeah, you should answer first.
Okay. Maybe I don't know. I feel like it doesn't feel like an option, and I think that like what is maybe healthiest is to realize that if I do stop creating, that's also okay. Like I think that the impulse to create should just be from a very genuine place. You should. Someone the other day was describing motherhood as a creative impulse, which I really liked. So yeah, I think that it's a much wider thing than just art.
Yeah, I think it's similar for me. Like, creating isn't something that I... Sorry, your connection is kind of bad right now, so you like paused, and then I started talking, and then I realized you weren't done because you paused.
You go ahead.
Okay. I was just saying, like, I feel a very similar way. Like, for me, creating isn't something that needs to be like persistent throughout as a daily ritual. It's more of something that I like embody on a holistic scale. And so like taking breaks is super important. I feel like it's kind of the main thing that I find like fulfillment in is like generating things. Like I think it's so freaking cool that as artists you can create anything you absolutely want, like out of nothing. And I'm very inspired by other artists. Like whenever I see anything that I'm drawn to, like I save everything all the time. And even if it's just like a little part of something that I'm drawn to, like the lines in this like very specific part of an illustration, or like the general tone of this piece, like I save everything. And when I'm feeling not inspired, I just go back and look through everything. Yeah.
Do you want to? I'm seeing some.
Any plans for releasing more variants? You can answer that.
Oh, I mean
the vinyl. Deluxe, sorry,
no, it's cool. The deluxe sold out so fast that we're trying to figure out something equivalent. Because Marin also did the packaging, and it looks.
Lucy is moving in such slow motion.
No, I don't know how to fix that. Am I still here? I moved it a little bit.
Oh my god, there are so many different parts of sentences that you just said.
Oh no.
Okay, wait, I think it's better now. I think it's better. Can someone tell us if it's better now? Who's not me? Okay, no, I think it's better. I think it's
Okay,
better.
great.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like not move, even though I
Okay.
don't know if that's part of the issue.
You were I don't know. It was so
I was
confusing.
saying that a lot of these questions are getting cut off for me. Oh my god, my mom is here and it's my mom's birthday. Wait.
Oh, happy birthday,
Happy
Sam.
birthday to you.
Oh,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mom. Happy birthday to you. I like called you earlier, but you were probably teaching music, where you do your job teaching music. Okay.
Wait, did you want me to read you questions because
Yeah,
you
just
can't
like
see?
pick some since I can't see them.
Yeah. So what do you think is the most depressing song from the record?
Oh my god.
There are two options.
There are two options, you think?
There are two obvious options and then one wild card.
Okay. I mean thumbs, but I mean please stay.
Those are the two.
What's
Triple
the wild
Dog is
card?
Triple Dog.
Triple Dog, yeah.
That's the wild card. It's a wild card.
That's
It's
the
not.
wild card. Oh, look, Mom, they're all saying happy birthday in the chat.
Someone knew the NG scene, so that's awesome. Someone asked, are there more plans for variants of the vinyls? They picked up two already.
So we are trying to get something going since the deluxe sold out so fast, or the ultra deluxe.
We didn't expect that at all.
What's that?
Well, maybe. I said we didn't expect it to sell out that fast. Maybe other people did. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The Super Deluxe was like my baby. Like it's like what we wanted. I wanted the whole thing to be, but it's like there's a lot. There's a lot of elements. But it's like fully what we imagined the packaging as.
Yeah. So we want more of that in the world because it's so immersive and cool. Like there's an envelope in. I mean, actually, I think this exists in the existing deluxe, but like there's like a printed lyric book and sticker sheet that are in a sealed envelope.
It's not in the deluxe. It's just in the
okay. Well, hopefully we'll make more of that because I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we really want to do that. I'm excited for everyone to get the sticker sheet.
They're all references to lyrics. Do you mind just picking more?
No. Did you pick your opening acts for the upcoming shows?
Yes. Oh my god, yes. I mean, so Ellen sent me the Bachelor album months ago, and I was just like floored. I'm also a huge Dasom fan, and clearly they're having so much fun making that record. Like when you listen to it, you can tell that they love and trust each other and wanted to have a good time, which is what music should be about. So I asked them to come on tour, and then Barty's Strange. That is probably my most listened to record of 2020. I just think he's like so good, and I feel like I'm gonna just like be jumping up and down side stage like every night that we are playing together. It also just seems like a really cool person. We've DM'd, but we haven't met in person yet. So yeah, I like to pick my openers because I don't know, I like to feel worse than it's humbling to get an opener that you think is better than you know, to like just watch a show that's incredible and just be like, okay, well I better do my best because I'm getting showed up for sure.
Honestly, I like that energy a lot, and I feel like our whole friend group and vibe is like surrounding ourselves with people who are so obscenely talented. That are those your wind chimes?
No, that's the doorbell.
Oh right, I forgot. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so question for me. I was wondering if hi, incredible video. I was wondering if you had a rough estimate of the time frame breakdown for each phase in the production. So like I said, it was kind of a time crunch, and I didn't really have like the luxury of breaking things down in a super structured way. I honestly like didn't schedule my time until like halfway through because I was too stressed about like seeing what time I had left. But I would say that and again, I don't recommend this time frame. Like each scene probably took me like anywhere from 3 days to a week. And that's with everything because like I did all the generally, this is for anyone who is curious about animation. There's generally, at the very least, someone who does backgrounds. There's like a lead animator, someone who does keyframes, and then there's like tweeners, like people who animate the frames in between. And I was all of those things and like compositing. So there's a lot of little details that go into animating. Question for you:
Wait, I found when I was scrolling while you're talking.
Oh, okay,
What's a useless talent each of you have?
Oh my! I can boulder. I'm a rock climber. I can boulder around a chair. Someone might have seen that on
TikTok famous
internet.
Marin Leong.
I had one TikTok that went viral. I mean, I don't know what TikTok viral is. It has like a couple million views or something.
That seems like a lot.
It seems like a lot, but TikTok's kind of weird. It can, I don't know. But yeah, I can climb around a chair without touching the ground. It's very hard. It's anyway, that's my useless talent.
You should go find it on her Instagram. I just show it to people. If I meet people, I'm like, hey, my name's Lucy. By the way, check out my friend just like climbing up and around this chair without touching the ground.
So funny. I did not know. I always think about how I wish, like, you all know when you're in high school or college and it's the first day of class and everyone asks you like, what's a fun fact about yourself? And no one ever knows what to say and it's super uncomfortable. Like, I just wish I could go back in time and say that. That's like one interesting thing about me.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I only pulled that one out because I wanted you to say the chair thing, and I don't have any useless talents.
I feel like your talents are all pretty useful.
Like knitting.
Yeah, very useful.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I was gonna say reading tarot, but that's also pretty useful.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not gonna go into that. Never mind.
If I think of one, I'll say it also.
Yeah.
How has deconstructing your religion influenced your songwriting? That's a big question.
Yeah, that's pretty big. I feel like not going to church anymore, or just basically I was trying to describe, like, it's not like I had a faith and then I went from something to nothing. I feel like I had a faith and then it just kept expanding to the point where the limit did not exist. So like, yeah, so it's like I don't I just feel like my little tiny human pea brain couldn't conceptualize of something as big as, like, maybe the definition of God is like the biggest possible thing, you know, like the biggest possible thing is God. I don't know.
Isn't that an argument, like a very specific?
Oh, is it?
Anyway, yeah, it's like a philosophical argument. I don't know. I talk about it people sometimes. Well, we don't need to get into that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, basically, I don't know. I realized that I was like personifying this thing too much. And so I think for a lot of my life, I thought about God as like watching me, but like God probably doesn't have eyes, if whatever God is. And like, if I kind of like conceptualize that word as like a symbol now that like represents a force, possibly. So I think songwriting wise, and speaking and like just being able to be genuine to myself wise, I don't feel like God is watching anymore. And so I feel like I'm allowed to say more things. My mom is watching, clearly. So there is not, you know, I can't like just willy-nilly say whatever I want. Like, you still need to be considerate and like keep something sacred for yourself. But I think I'm more willing to like say embarrassing things or things that I would have been judgmental of myself for in the past.
Deshaun is here. Hi, Deshaun.
Hi, Deshaun.
Love you too. Auburn asked, hi, Auburn. Marin, have you done work for Lucy before? Yeah, we've done a lot of tour posters, but that's pretty much it, right? I did the big fall 2019 poster, which was like screen printed. That was probably
similar themes and colors.
Yeah. I think I've used those colors a lot. And then I did some animated posters like a while back that I thought were really cool. This is definitely like the big thing that we've done together. The big many things. Would you consider touring in Europe and especially France? You definitely have.
I have, and I will. I haven't announced it yet. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I definitely literally just did, but yeah, it's tough knowing like when it's going to be safe. So we've honestly had like a tour that we pushed and then a tour that we pushed. So we're trying to just like really pick a time that's really safe, but I cannot wait to come back to Europe. It's just cool there.
This one we can both answer. Hey, Lucy, I know you went to, but we probably have very different answers. I know you went to VCU. Any tips for potential upcoming freshmen? I also went to VCU. So who should talk first about that?
I'm going to just talk some shit real quick. I went to VCU because they gave me a big scholarship that would have made my entire college experience like less than $10,000. And so I was like, cool, I can afford this. And I chose VCU for that reason over the other schools. And then like my sophomore year, they like took it away for no reason. And we tried to follow up and be like, this was promised, we have the paperwork, like whatever. And they like wouldn't even give us an appointment with somebody. Like I think people at the finance desk are trained to be like dismissive of things. So yeah, I just think that company is bad. They were so careless around COVID, like, and I call it a company. I know it's a school, but it's a company, and I think of them as a company. So beyond just like be doubtful of VCU on the whole, also as like a gentrifying force in Richmond, find the teachers that you actually like and get to know them, because they will like be so much more willing to work with you on things, and like they want people to be excited to learn stuff, because it seems like it can be pretty boring to be a professor.
Teachers are not the institution. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Distinction. Like college institutions are generally like that, generally bad, and not looking for the best interest. Like it's very profit oriented, but that like there are so many amazing professors. And I think, I don't know what your major is, but like VCU does have a lot of like really good programs. And also if you can find people like upperclassmen who are in your major, picking the right classes and like knowing, like getting insight is so important, because there are so many classes that I wish I'd taken, or I went into and halfway through I realized like the professor was not what I thought they were going to be. And also if you find professors, like there are still like, I have like 3 or 4 that I just I've been thinking about reaching out to them because they made such an impact on me. Like, and I wish I maintained that connection, like things that these professors talked about that I talk about at our dinner parties still. And I think, you know, professors, I always think about like the scope of like how many people they see versus like how they are such an individual to you as a student. Like if you don't keep in contact with them, like it's not like they're gonna forget you, it's just that there are so many students, and I think it's hard, but definitely like maintain those relationships.
There's a couple quick ones I saw. Did you use new instruments on this album? We used a auto harp that we plucked. We used a classical guitar. We simulated 12-string guitars by tracking 2 at the same time. We did a bunch more pianos and synths. So yeah, there's just a lot more going on. And then someone said, do you like alliteration? I noticed it so often in VBS. I do like alliteration. I just think it's fun. I feel like words are playthings, and so you can just do whatever you want, and it's fun and cute.
Lucy, what's your favorite single so far?
I think like Thumbs wasn't really a single. We put it out before announcing the record, but
like a special release.
What's that?
I said it was like a special release.
Yeah. That song's just really meaningful to me. Yeah, so probably that one.
I'm sorry you wanted the super deluxe. that's sold
Yeah.
out. We're trying.
Uh-huh.
Seems like I saw a lot of people talking about that on various platforms, which sucks.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
Lucy is so gorgeous. I agree.
thanks.
What
Um,
song? What song gets stuck in your head the most? Do
like a
musicians' own songs get stuck in their head?
yeah, like song ever? Like what song gets stuck in my head the most of
I think
any
they're
song?
asking. Answer both
I mean,
if you
you
can.
can answer too. Um,
Okay.
uh, there's a Louis Armstrong song called "When You're Smiling," and I always sing that song to myself. It's just a really good melody, and I'll be singing it, and then I'll get to his solo and just like sing the the solo to myself, like.
Um, I feel like the beginning of VBS has been stuck in my head for a while,
Well,
just
you've been
because it's
watching it.
yeah. I figured a lot of people would ask me like, did I get sick of the song? No one's asked me that yet, I don't think. But the answer is no. But because I actually didn't listen to it that much, because like animating, you don't necessarily like have to be like it's not like editing. But towards the end, I have heard the opening lines so many times now.
Mhm.
But still, no, I love the song. I feel like a lot of like children's songs get stuck in my head randomly, like
Yeah,
when I'm really tired, like when I wake up for something really early and I have to shower and like I've been working on the railroad will just randomly pop into my head. It's horrible. I hate it.
that's really funny. Oh, that's so sad for you. Um,
Yeah, it's bad.
from the record, I just realized like the song that gets stuck in my head the most is Brando, um, which I guess yeah, that's a short answer. Um, let's see what else is there. Book Rex. Okay, I'm reading The Committed by Vian Tan Nguyen. I think that I'm saying that right, but it's a sequel to The Sympathizer, which is this incredible book. I think like a deeply underrated book. It's fiction and narrated by like a communist spy who is like working undercover during the Vietnam War and like has to like live in California for a while. I don't know. I won't say much more, but it's just like some of the most beautiful language ever. I'm reading Hanif Abdurraqib's new book, which is so good. Um, I'm reading a poetry book called Rose by Lee Young Lee, which is so good. Um, I'm reading Joan Didion, Play It As It Lays. I'm reading Crime and Punishment, Dostoevsky. I'm always reading a lot. So,
Did you read Sula yet?
no,
We've
I
been
haven't
talking
yet. No, it's like it's on the list. It's like in the next 10.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to talk to you about like a couple of passages.
Yeah.
Um, what is your favorite word or phrase?
Ooh, do you have one?
I have a few. I like any word that begins with like synth, like synthetic, synthesize. I don't know why, but I have like different realms of favorite words. Like I in the past have done a lot of like academic writing, and my favorite like academic word is instantiated for some reason. Talk about it a lot with like metacriticism, like critique
I
of
love
critique.
metacriticism.
Okay, I know that
You're
sounded.
so cute.
It's
Metacriticism.
like my favorite aesthetics topic. If
Yeah, yeah,
anyone's like
yeah.
a philosophy person or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Anyway, what's your favorite card in the tarot deck? Unless you want
Um,
to answer your favorite word thing.
I was just gonna say that I had a friend whose favorite word was jungle, and I used to really not get it, but then I thought about it for a long time. I was like, I get that. Jungle is a really
It's a good
neat word.
word. I love that.
Also, peregrination, just a kind of a good word.
Ooh.
Um, okay, but favorite card in the tarot deck is probably Three of Cups, um, because when I gave Julian her first tarot reading, which originally she was really scared of, the first card that she picked was 3 of Cups, and it was like Julian, me, and Phoebe all together, which is like kind of rare. We all live in different places. And she was kind of freaked out by it, like, because there's really dark cards. There's like the devil and the tower and stuff, but 3 of Cups is about how like friendship is the highest form of love. And she picked the 3 of Cups and then the 4 of Wands, which is sort of like the physical embodiment of the 3 of Cups. So just like this really sweet reading, really gentle, like loving, accurate reading. And so whenever I see that, I'm just like, friendship, highest form of love.
I have some shout outs that I want to make just because there are a bunch of people we know.
Cool.
Hi, Jacob. So I don't know if you asked a question, but my drawing teacher from college is here, who I love, Nathan Tersteeg, and I actually thought about, I don't know if you're still in the chat, like a lot during a few of the scenes that I had to do some heavy perspective draw, and I hadn't thought about it, like perspective rules, since drawing class, and I had to rack my brain pretty hard, but it was very useful to have that background. He said, hope I make the cut, but I don't know if you asked a question or that if I missed it.
Maybe I think make the cut of like teachers that you respect. You had said
yes, I forgot. Yes, definitely, for sure. But we have connected on Instagram and stuff, so not the teachers that I'm regretting the disconnect with.
I just saw a question from Benjamin that says, what old Christian songs do you still think slap? And yesterday I live with some post-Christian kids here in my house, and the other day we were singing big big house with lots and lots of rooms, a big big table with lots and lots of food. This might be triggering for you if you ever had to do this. Big big yard, we can play football. A big big house, it's my father's house. Talking about like God's house in heaven. And there are all these hand motions. Actually, in the Hot and Heavy video, one of the clips where I'm like doing hand motions with a group of people is my like little kids church group performing that song for the church. There's a ton of like Christian rock songs that will never ever leave my brain, and it's fun to like meet up with other people who grew up in church and just like you know, that Spider-Man
girl boss,
that Spider-Man meme, but Spider-Man, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
that's so girl boss, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm not a post-Christian, but my partner Keelan is, and they have connected on that a lot. Like sometimes I'll just hear one of these songs like around the house and I have no idea what it is. Lucy does.
I know. I will also some people are realizing that they have your art on their walls. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. I don't even have my art on my walls. So.
Stream exclusive, Lucy will tour. That's funny. Let's see. VCU is garbage.
Jashawn asked if I have any animation projects coming up. I do have some personal things that I'm pretty excited about that I might apply to some shows with. I don't know if anyone knows like Armory Week in New York. I want to get back into like the gallery world a little bit. I very much enjoy splitting my time between like music scene and fine art world. Not that I think the division is kind of fake and whatever, but
I'd probably. Someone has asked 3 times, what's your personal favorite out of the singles so far? And then mine, ... So I don't know what their favorite is. Oh wait, I already answered that, and it's Thumbs.
Yeah.
But cringiest VBS / church camp moment. The one that's coming to mind is I went to this church camp kind of like late, like I might have been 15, and the sermon at the church camp, the preacher told all of us to get out our iPods and delete all secular music from our iPods because we were letting in the devil. And so a bunch of kids were just like crying and like saying goodbye to their favorite music and being like, all for you, God. And I was like, no. Well, one, I was like rebelling against this, but my justification was that you can imagine that any love song is about God. So I was like, I want to keep these because like I can just imagine that they're about God, right? Like Chasing Cars, which was just it all comes back to Chasing Cars.
This is so funny to me. Like I can't. This is like a sitcom moment. This needs to be translated somehow. This scene.
And then we had like me and the pastor like after the sermon had like a debate like with a circle of people around us where we were like going back and forth. It was highly dramatic. People were on like both of our sides. I was a kid and he was like an adult man. So weird.
I want to say hi to my friend Steven, who's in here. Thank you for your compliment. We went to college together, same major. Jacob said all the live long day, which was about all. I feel like
oh, any fall tour gigs you have special stuff planned for? I will say Philly. We definitely have special stuff planned. Actually live in Philly now. Maybe worth mentioning. Don't tell anybody. I mean,
don't tell anybody.
You will. I just told you, so like, fine. You can. It's out. But I originally moved as kind of like a secret. But yeah, we have Shamir is opening. We just announced a second show in DC that Laura Stevenson is opening, and she's like one of the few people I can point to as like a real influence for me. So it's going to be surreal, and I'm probably going to ask her if we can like do a song together. So yeah, I think there's probably like plenty of shows will be special, but those I'm like really looking forward to.
Someone asked if I have any cartoons that inspire me that aren't anime. I don't know if they like inspire me like in or like influence me in terms of animation, but I really love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like anyone, like most people. What's the process of turning songs into visual art? Or what's it like turning songs into visual art? What's your process like? So for this one, like Lucy is such a vivid storyteller, and I'm not a super heavy-handed artist like in any realm, so it's very much like not something that I want to do to like take the story and animate it. I think that would be very cheesy, and for lack of a better word, campy. But I think it's really about kind of distilling like the tone, like the emotion of what you're talking about, and kind of reimagining that. And I think it's really useful to be working in a medium like animation because you can kind of you have access to imagery and tools that aren't really like rooted in like real people, real behaviors, real activities. So I think there's a lot more room to kind of abstract those things in forms and colors and motion. And I think like the single arts are like a little bit more literal, and just pulling. I think we did a good job kind of creating. Lucy did a lot of like creative direction with me, creating like this very like specific world of home video. So it's kind of been an easy flow of language to pull from. So the Hot and Heavy single art was like pretty much a few like a composite of scenes from the video, but illustrated. And then like the opening of VBS is kind of inspired by a landscape that I illustrated for the inside of the gatefold that anyone who ordered the vinyl will see. So yeah, like world building is a thing that I'm very interested in, and having all that to pull from really helps.
Yeah, I think it's such a cool world you're making. I think that maybe we could do this for like 6 more minutes and just have a full hour of fun
cool.
times.
This has been fun, yeah.
Yeah, it has been fun. Michael says, any advice for dating a bad boy? And what I would say is what makes the boy bad? Because is he a
Bad
bad
half.
person? Like, are we talking like bad person? Because like I weirdly think my advice is just like don't. But like I like the idea of a bad boy slash bad person slash bad, like, you know, like the, like who has like a soft side but like isn't a fuckboy, you know what I'm saying? Like I like the idea of being aesthetically a bad boy but being like a really gentle person who's like considerate, knows how to communicate. That would sound great. But if you're dating a bad boy that like prides themselves on like being mysterious or like I don't know, these personality traits that they keep up that aren't essential, um or like that's just the way I am type of thing, like drop them. Like overrated attitude.
I don't know if I've ever really dated a bad boy, so
Yeah,
I don't have
you go for
Slayer
gentle. You go for gentle
boy.
ones.
Favorite Veggie Tales veggie.
I like that my mom said, I need to go. See you soon. Bye, Mom.
Oh,
She's coming to my house this weekend.
wait, did you hear my question?
Wait, no, what was it?
Favorite Veggie Tales veggie.
Oh my god. I feel like my answer, like the little pea. Isn't there like a little baby green pea? I think there might
I
be.
didn't know Veggie Tales was like a Christian show when I was a kid. Like I thought
Mm-hmm.
it was just a fun cartoon with vegetables. Did you guys know that vegetables like aren't real, aren't a thing? Like in botany,
What are
it's
you
like
talking about?
here. A vegetable is like kind of like a nickname for a plant that is edible. And so anything that I think this is like I think this has dualities of truth. Like in a certain realm, like vegetables are like real, but in like from a bio plant standpoint, like most vegetables are like a fruit or a tuber or a squash. Like there's no such like vegetables are a thing, but there is no specific. I don't know. Someone who knows more about this can
So wait,
tell
is a
us.
fruit a type of vegetable?
Yes, but a vegetable doesn't have a specific classification. I don't know.
Okay, I'm definitely
This is,
I'm doing some googling after this.
yeah, I'm not entirely bullshitting.
I
Like,
love wow take of the century. I'm here for it. I love the idea
how's
that
my
that
take?
fact is just like a hot take, like something that you thought of instead of
I
like
do
read
have a lot of
somewhere.
hot takes, but
Tuber tales. That's really funny. Um,
please.
yeah.
I'm not saying vegetables are fake. I'm. Oh god, someone's gonna take this out of context.
Vegetables. I love that we got there. Talking for an hour has made vegetables not real.
They're real. They're just not a scientific classification. I think is a
That's so
summation.
funny. If anybody wants to ask one more question, we've got 2 minutes.
Is this live stream going to be saved? That's kind of
I
up to
don't know. I mean, did we do anything cringy? Probably not.
I don't think we did anything crazy.
Yeah, maybe we'll save it. I'll probably like save it and then decide later.
Cool. Vegetables are lies. I didn't say that. Please don't take this as like anti-vegetable propaganda. I love vegetables. I think I find it very disheartening when I hear people don't like vegetables.
Yeah, they're good for you. I feel like maybe we
Someone
just
said I'm right. Okay.
bio major.
You're correct. Colloquially, fruits have seeds and veggies are the stalk of the plant, but not scientifically. There, that's better. It's a better
Pretty wild.
word. Yeah.
Well, this has been fun. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Marin, for talking and making such a pretty video. And I don't know, maybe I'll do this again sometime. It's nice to see you digitally.